Okay. Impact Point says that it would be cool to have a section on a forum for record set, and let's hope that he's not having a big dog moment. I don't know what's a big dog moment. I just know that for Daniel Negreanu's first stream, he peed on stream or something. So that's something that I didn't do. And yeah, it could be interesting. I think that one thing to improve on would be having a monthly goals thread or something. Something, because that's usually something that would be, I think it would be motivating to get shit done. So there's TubeCat asking about my coaching. I think one good idea for you, if you are wanting to know what I'm doing in my coachings, is to look through some of our public-private coachings. For example, if you are doing $1.5 9max games, actually on single table tournaments as well. And when you are starting online, it's completely okay, and it's even preferable that when you are starting online for the first month, you try what you like. Try different games. See what you like. When you are finding a game that you like to play, then stick with that game. Try to learn to be really good at that game. And I don't think that it matters that much what's the game that you select. I think for all of the games, like how much you can earn or like how much you can win or what's the bankroll requirements of moving up, I think like for all the games, it's going to be quite similar when you are starting up. Like how many hours do you need to work for a certain kind of improvement, and it's only later on that it's going to be more important. But I think it's going to be really important when you are starting up that you are going to learn one game really well. So when you are learning one game really well, then you are always having something that you can come back to. So, and like TubeCat says that how many games should I play in 1 month when I start, for example, 50-cent single table sit and goes or 45-minute turbos. It's always in poker that if you are a losing player, as little as possible. If you are a winning player, play as much as possible. I think that it's good to have goals still. Like if you're playing 4 tables, it's going to be something like, I think about half an hour per 9max game, or on average it's going to be 40 to 45 minutes on average per 45 player game. So it's going to be like if you are playing 1 hour, then you are playing something like 8 games an hour. So then it will be something to, like if you are thinking about having a good goal, it would be somewhere between 200 and 400 games for four games. And Nikki Benisofani says that yeah, can't do anything without software anymore. Oh dear, oh dear. And it's something that I have actually been asked to like do something without any extra software. So we could do some special that I'm not using any extra software, only the poker software and nothing else. I can still do quite well. I think I can play something like 25 tables still without any extra software. It just helps when you are getting past the limits, and even if you are not having a HUD, it's also something. HUD only helps, but if you are having a good basic strategy, if you are having a good basic stuff going on, then it works. And Nikki Benisofani, have you checked Marco Repairs yet? Yeah, I have seen his videos like I think 3 or 4 years ago. And TubeCat, so when I have a bad day, I play less. When I have a good day, I play more. That's usually what happens. It's something that I think that if you think to play professionally, it shouldn't matter that if you're having a good day or a bad day, you are just doing your job. But if you're playing recreationally, play when it feels fun. like play when it feels fun. That's probably the first month's target is play when it feels fun. Find some game that you really like. And then on the next month, if you are wanting to take it more seriously, then try to learn more about the strategies. And of course, on the first month, if you are finding something that you like, then try to learn about the strategies. Try to watch videos. Try to, when you are watching videos, like have a notepad with you and scribble. Like when the coach is doing something, then like scribble, like what would I do here? Think about those things. Think about what the coach does differently, what you would have done. And TubeCat said, like, how am I getting used to the HUD? Like just having VPIP, PFR, hands and the player name. Start with that. Play with that for a week or two. Like start when you don't have a HUD and you are moving to having a HUD. You are having some kind of idea on what you are on what kind of players you are against. So then when you are having the VPIP and PFR, then try to like look and now this guy plays like this, his VPIP and PFR like this. So and then try to start to using the HUD to profile players and finding out the better players. Okay, let's go. Let's pull the plug, so to say. Now we should start seeing a lot of games coming up. I don't even know how many games I'm registered to. Probably enough. It's going to be only 50 games, so it's going to be mainly about luck what kind of ROI I'm going to have here. We'll see. And Impact Point says that Big Dog left his mic on and did something controversial, which caused a lot of shit. Of course, it's probably more interesting to look through this session if I'm getting some of those games out of the stack. Oh crap. Going to pause for a while. Forgot to save the HUD positions. And now I'm pretty screwed here. Okay. No worries, no worries. No worries, no worries. This one. I must say that this wasn't the best start for the session. Let's carry on. 10 tables, no worries. First time banks already. And Piksakmiku, Never played the 50-50 format. It's the most reg-infested games, might be. And Danita says that if you are playing for profit, you should aim for a professional mindset, even if not playing poker. Yeah, like having a professional mindset helps, but I'm thinking that there is like a difference in what you are doing on the first month. And I think like if you are doing something for the first month, it's going to be the most important thing is to find the game that you really like. And I don't think that the game matters that much. And Big Sagomiku, with Poker Tracker, it should always be at the correct place. So that's why it didn't take its correct place, because I forgot to save it. So well, what they say, can't fix stupid, or and this is a special case because normally I don't play 10 max games, and when I don't play 10 max games, then it's going to be a situation where we're not playing 10 max games is going to be quite it's going to be quite a problem with the settings wise on where to get HUDs, and with the 10 max it's going to be the biggest problem, since with 10 max we are going to have least space for HUDs. Like for something like spin and goes, for example, it wouldn't be a problem because it doesn't matter where the HUDs are. You can pretty much just get them somewhere. And Profile Man says that how many tables do you play on one screen? Well, right now I'm playing 22 tables on one screen. I actually shouldn't have bet that. Last time that I did this, I remember that trying to talk while playing 25 tables started to be quite awkward. So let's see how it works now. Had to re-aim my hotkeys. Hotkeys didn't work because I lost focus for some reason. I don't want to have too many of those things going on, especially when the table amount gets bigger. Just can't get friendly with chips to big blinds. Probably I'm trying to get to learn it a bit more later on. But right now it's not going to be. It's not going to be that important, or it's going to be better if I'm not using it. First misclick. And probably the first strategy misread there. That's going to be a bit of a horrible strategy misread. Got punished for it as well. Now I have 8 tables to act when I had to reclaim the focus. And now it's going to be pretty hard to talk anything. And my processor usage gets up to 100 right now. Not that much lag though. Okay, bypassing 40 tables. Reclaiming my focus. Can't read chat at all. I noticed that there is something new on the chat on the corner of my eye, but just can't concentrate there. Probably should have my sounds on because this sounds pretty awesome. Playing Sandstorm by how much the tables are beeping at all the time. Well, now every time I'm getting registered to a new tournament, you can see that I can't do anything for a while. I'd say it's not helping at the moment. Still going to be quite okay. Okay, 46 tables. And that's a pretty huge blunder. I did reship against a needy player opening from UTG +1 with ace-jacks off. Let's say that right now, let's cut opening the new tables. Like, this is the limit. This is my limit right now. Or it's my computer's limit, since I'm completely stumped at 100% of processor usage at all the time. So it's not feeling that fluid right now. Oh well, last time that I tried to video 40 tables going on at once, then we did need to use a different video camera because my computer would just completely give up. This sucks. Now I need to say that this really sucks because I'm getting more tables because I couldn't even... Okay. Now we are getting into trouble. Up to 40 tables it felt okay. Right now it feels really horrible. I must say really, really horrible. You can pretty much see that I have clicked at the one table, but nope. This is not going to be that fun. Playing 48 tables without no time banks. Okay. Would be nice to try this without the lag, I must say. Okay, really. I must say sorry guys, I just need to cut. Okay. Welcome back. Had to take some kind of a small leave as my computer just pretty much completely was stumped and pretty laggy when I did more than 30 tables at once. Let's see if 30 tables works now or not. And they did take some video on my computer previously with a real camera. that it wasn't laggy even on 48 tables when I didn't stream at the same time. But when I stream, it takes a whole lot more from the computer. So if I'm like right now watching what's taking most of my CPU, it's going to be my streaming software. And it's interesting since my streaming software takes about 10% of processor when it works on a normal poker stream, but when we are at 30 tables, it takes more than 30%, and it's 50% or more when we had 50 tables running. So still, my computer is a lot better than when I played 40 tables. Then I couldn't take a video with the tools available at that time, and I think the same still applies. That doing 40 tables and taking a video out of the computer at the same time is going to be quite hard for the computer. There's so much happening on the screen and there are so many windows constantly popping up and down, so that's something that will take a toll on the computer. And you don't have to move your mouse to the table. No, I'm playing with the hotkeys right now. So this isn't fun to play with. Even 23 tables when you don't have any time banks. It's not something that you can say that would be fun. Like time banks are having a huge impact on your game when you can time bank something. You'll notice when you're playing on a site that doesn't have time banks, you'll notice on how much harder it is to play on that kind of a site than on a site with time banks that are working well. Even if you don't require time banks most of the time, but the times that you require the time banks are going to be And what are we guessing for Arni's ROI for this session? I don't know. I'm thinking that it's probably going to be negative since I had so much trouble at the beginning of the session. But on the other hand, it took quite a long time before I dropped to 30 tables when I started streaming. But as you can see right now, we are at 15 tables and tables are getting eliminated like flies. So I don't know. Getting back to the mouse, because if I remember something from Deia is that it's a lot harder to follow me around when I don't use the mouse. I could have dunk shoved this flop actually. And it's going to still be a lot harder to talk on poker at the same time. Youchi, I'm still going to be pot committed there. Like I can't pretty much fold at that position anymore. But I think that I'm going for a negative ROI for sure for this session. Oh, the angst from Nikki Penny so funny. Oh, the angst. I don't think that I'm going to get too much value. Perhaps limping and then stabbing a flop would be better. And yeah, it's hard to know when playing mixed stakes. It's also like I started all the games from 1.5s to 7s, and I started all the running games, so like every game that just could be run, I started. And only 4 tables remaining. It was a rush. But yeah, everything worked without the streaming software. That's the weak part today. Postgres is also getting quite hammered with PT4, but it's to be expected. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. We'll see after the last games have ended. I must say that I took a peek and I don't think that we are winning today. We could be, like getting a huge stack on the $7 game, then we are winning for the day for sure. EV ROI is quite break-evenish, which is quite interesting for a session that where I sit out at the start of the games a lot. I did play a project against one of our members 1.5 years ago. They could try to dig out the address for the 50/50s project. But I think that even at the low stakes you can have quite a high ROI, especially if you are playing the normal speeds as well. Interesting spot. Interesting spot all in all. Like he shouldn't, but he's a fishy looking player, but he shouldn't like have race folds here. So this is either a trap or I don't get it. I don't get it why my opponent wanted to race fold then there. And if you had any questions during the time I was multitabling a lot, you can ask them now again, since I didn't have pretty much any recollection of any chat at the time. And Chip Leader said that I thought SessionLord won't let sit you out. Yeah, it sits me back in instantly. But it doesn't do anything if my time runs out and I can't act. So it doesn't do any automated actions at that point. So I wasn't sitting out, but I did have a lot of times I didn't get to act. on the tables. If that makes any sense. But yeah, I think that in 50-50s, if you are getting good on those, you can do quite well in 50-50s. Like, it's quite recently that one of our members has been playing $60 or $15 to $60 games, and he started in February on $1.5 50-50s. So you can get up in these games as well. You can get at quite the high stakes. And Chip Leader said that you opened sevens for a UTG for a min raise. Is that standard? Depends on what the situation is. One UTG 7 pocket sevens that I opened for a min raise. In here, actually, I think that when we are having such a deep stack, Ace King is going to be a call, but it wouldn't be a call in a 9-max structure if we would be on the bubble for any reason. Okay, I just can't stand Nikki Benisovani anymore. Bye bye. Get back in 10 minutes if you have learned how to act. And King 6 off is not a push. Let's see, hands report. What is the last King 6 here? Almost 100 hands. Yeah, this is what Danita said. I think that this is going to be a push. We are having the biggest stack, so this should be a push for any reason. And pocket sevens for a min raise, like I opened pocket sevens for a min raise when we had like 885 chips and the big blind was 400 to get additional fold equity, get an option to fold. So like in that case, we'll want our opponent to fold as much as possible. And like the King 6 off, in that case, or in this case, it is not a pretty much it's not an option to fold against the big stack because the big stack is only 7 big blinds behind us. So that's going to be one. Pikusak Miku, please tell us about adjusted big blinds, how it is calculated. Okay, that's actually a good question. Tournament adjusted big blinds. And how is it calculated is there is a problem with big blinds. They don't take antes into account. You are getting, if you just fold, you're getting broke earlier. And there's more to fight for in an average spot. And there's more to fight for in average spot even before anybody fights for it. So like if you're not having antes and you're having 10 big blinds, the situation for shove and call ranges are going to be completely different as if we are comparing it to a 10 big blind situation with antes, and it's like, I think that it would be pretty comparable to something like 11.5 big blind situation with antes, and that's what the tournament adjusted big blinds is getting to. So with tournament adjusted big blinds, we can like compare our gut idea on what to do with the certain big blind amount, and we can translate it to a situation with antes, and it doesn't matter what the antes are. And basically it's going to be that it's tagging 2 out of 3 of the on top of the big blind. So example, we are having 9 players paying 1 chip ante, 50 small blind, 100 big blind. Then if we are thinking about, let's say that we are having 1700 chip stack, it's going to be 17 big blinds, 17 big blinds, and it's going to be and Piku Sakmiku, you are actually quite correct there that can you push wider when there are antes in play? Yep, you can push wider. So then it's going to be like 1700 divided by 100 plus 9 times 10. So there's 9 players. Everybody pushes like 10 chips of ante there, divided by 2/3. And it would be around 10.8 or something. Let's use Google Calculator for it. Okay, there's probably something wrong with my calculation order. Let's try to fix it. No, now this needs to be done first. Sometimes things are not easy. Today is one of those things. Why it's 235? It shouldn't be times 2/3, not divided by 2/3. Okay, 160. So 1700. Sorry about that. That's a small mistake. And again, calculation order, the plus doesn't get calculated if we are dividing it here. So 10.625. It's pretty close to my original estimate of 10.8. Yep. So in this case, we can notice that we can push a lot wider, but like if we are thinking about the adjusted big blinds, we shouldn't use it as a complete replacement for BBs. And the reasons are, for example, that min raising is still very profitable, and min raising with low ABB but high BB is cheaper than in a spot without antes compared to the pot. So our risk/reward ratio is better. So it's, in a way, it's a situation that it helps us somewhat. For example, if we are on early position and we are having, let's say we are having a situation where we are like 13 big blinds deep but only 8 adjusted big blinds deep, we can pretty much like shove with a range that we would shove at that point if we would be 8 big blinds deep with no antes. But on later positions at the same situation, there would be a lot more enticing options to do small raises because the risk to reward ratio for the small raises would be better. And also the adjusted big blinds, it's going to be like your 3-betting is also going to be more worth it because the pots are going to be on average larger. And also for your 3-betting, you should be thinking about what kind of odds are you giving to your opponent. Like when there are antes involved, your opponents are going to call a lot more with the 3-bets. And you folded ace-9 off in blind versus blind where you were sport. Why didn't you snap push? This is the only ace-9 I can find from the late positions. And this was like against the biggest stack. And our stack size, when we are having less than 10 big blinds and our opponent knows it, I'm thinking that Fiskake's range in this spot will be a really not oriented range, and I don't think for example, in this case, I expect that 80% of the time we are dominated. And even if we aren't dominated, we are going to lose a lot of money by shoving here. But that's like the only ace-9 on late game that I did notice here. This might be it, but there is one player already pushed in the pot. Can't find the ace-9 that chip leader is searching for. And Nikkipen is funny. Yeah, I think so too. There are no stupid questions. But in Poker Mania, we have kind of had a no assholes policy. And I think you stomped the line quite harshly there. And of course, I think that when I talked about the non-assholes policy, it's also I'm being an asshole here, but well, can't get rid of me. Yeah. I didn't show the results yet. Okay, results are here. So it's like 2 games before the end we were 1 big blinds up in the EV adjusted, but we ended with only 1 buy-in of negative, and that's without, or 1 buy-in in the negative with all-in adjusted, or like the CNET adjusted. So it wasn't horrible, especially when I needed to play with the quick mode that isn't nearly going to be optimal. And in real money, it's like 6 buy-ins down and $46 loss. So it's not a horrible session. It's not any. It wasn't. It wasn't as expected, and that's something that. Sorry about it. Couldn't show the high multitabling. I need to check if there is any option for our streaming tool to use it. Like right now, our streaming tool is consuming 14% of CPU. And when I shut it down, it was consuming 50 to 60% of CPU all the time with 48 tables running. So, and they took some video, and I think that we might also upload one of those videos. So you can see that it's possible to play lag-free with SessionLord and PT4 running at the same time, even with almost 50 tables running. There was a very small stack as well in the ace-9 hands. Danita said without PT4 it would probably be fine. It wouldn't be fine if OBS is using 60% of processor. Oddsman doesn't understand the colors. Red one, all in adjusted big blinds, or net adjusted big buy-ins, blue graph, the real buy-ins won or lost. Green graph, money won or lost. Orange graph, net adjusted money won or lost. So if you have any questions on those, like the basic colors are a bit different. I just like these colors because then I can get a quick view on everything important from a session or from week's games that is everything important. Especially with mixing stakes, it's really nice to have the adjusted buy-ins as well, so you can know that even when you are mixing buy-ins, might be that you are winning buy-ins, but you are losing money at some point if you are running worse on the higher buy-in games. And also, Paistisilli, good point. If you don't understand something, please ask. I think that we have answered quite well, quite a lot of questions. If you have any more questions on SessionLord or pretty much anything, how do you use rakeback in PT4? Good question. I have stats here, so I have stats that are graphed here. You can use this overlay stats to use the different stats. So there are like currency net, adjusted currency net 1 plus rakeback. So I have a what's it called? I have a custom stat made for rakeback. I can post those on the forums as well. Those are quite easy. I think I have already posted them. There's at least one thread with Kyberi that Kyberi posted for the rakeback stats for cash games that you could use. And Nikki Benisofani said that how frustrated were you when things didn't go as planned? You saw, I wasn't smiling during the session. In Finnish, naama näkkärille ja munat turpeeseen. That's what I did do at that point and tried to just grind on. And that's something that probably can't be translated to English that easily. An old army saying. But for Danita, like PT4 doesn't make any lags for me, even at 48 tables. When I just stopped the streaming, it was okay. So oh wow. But usually I'm not frustrated. I'm trying to use the frustration to improve stuff. When something doesn't go as planned, then use the frustration to improve it for the next time. And usually it's also when someone says that they are so bad at losing that they are always losing their tempers. I think that's the wrong way of losing. Like if you are shouting to people and throwing stuff around when you are losing, that's not the right way. The right way if you are losing is to analyze why you are losing, analyze the root causes and fix the root causes, and then you don't need to be a bad loser when you can win on most games by. Well, Danita, that's what I said, that it's really hard on the satellites. I tried to play them for a month and I played something, I think, I'd say 2000 or something of those satellites. And I got frustrated when I registered twice to some rebuy 27 or something. I think once I registered to $55 rebuy that took something like 7 hours. And I had other stuff to do, but oh well. And Oddsman, ROI is how much you can win each tournament in percentage. Is that right or am I stupid? That's right. So like in here, if we are having one buy-in at negative after 49 games, it's going to be an ROI about -2. Or that's going to be like EV adjusted ROI of -2. And when we are losing 6.5 buy-ins and we are having only 50 games, it would be that we would lose 13 buy-ins in 100 games, so the ROI would be -13%. And Danita says that let's see who laughs after I ship it. Well, we are going to hear about you shipping it in like 4 or 5 hours. I think the HOT is probably one of the best games to be accidentally registered in. And something like $55 rebuy, I think it cost me something like $275 to play at the end because there were a lot of rebuys also that I had to take. So it wasn't fun. And I think that I probably did a min cash there and it was less than I paid for the tournament. So Xias Chiroman says that is it possible to show any profit while I can't see the last word here. Or is the focus on rakeback? Well, when I did the project with Kuutossilli on 50/50s, I played 40 to 45 tables at all the times. So let's see what was the last one here. Like this is what was done playing all the time from 35 to 45 tables at the same time. Might be that the focus is on the rakeback or something, but the focus is on the volume while doing that. But I'd say it's going to be possible. You just need to be really good at that point. And before I started this 50/50 project, I had been playing something like, was it 26 50/50s before this project? So I think that it's possible, but it's not easy. It's always going to be harder when you are increasing the amount of table. Like at first you'll need to be really profitable in few tables before you can even, and it's not like when you are learning to multi-table better, it's going to be one more skill to learn. Like I did pretty much learn to go from like regular multitabling to mass multitabling when I did a project on going from $50 to 5,000. And on that project, I think I hadn't played at any point higher than 24 tables at once. And I started the project by trying to play 40 tables at once and just tried it as, because when you are playing 25 and 50-cent games, you don't need to care about money that much at that point. Especially if your usual buy-ins had been like, I think before that I played $15 to hundreds or something. So when I played 25-cent to 50-cent games, it was pretty much a place to experiment, and that was the point on learning how to multi-table a lot better and a lot more efficiently at that point. But when I played that project also, it started getting easier and easier all the time, and then it started to get like when you are getting back to like when you have played in a way that you are like, let's say you are really profitable playing 4 tables, then you can have a day that you are practicing only on multitabling by going to lower levels and playing 6 tables or 7 tables, and when you come back to your usual level, 4 tables might start feeling a bit slow. So then it's good to add to your regular sets at the 5 tables and like trying to get higher than you can do at this exact moment. Like you are only developing yourself when you are outside of your comfort zone. And I think like for many grinders it starts that you get to your comfort zone and then you are staying inside your comfort zone box all the time. So that's something to think about. But right now I think that thanks for everyone watching today, and I don't know, perhaps we are doing the SessionLord stuff in Finnish as well later on. I don't know. Perhaps. I think on next Sunday I'm going to be busy, so there is going to be no session. And Guinness Book in 2009, Elki Grosspellier played 62 sit and goes on PokerStars and profited $23. That mark still stands as the most sit and goes played at once with a profit. Chip Leader, I think that's bullshit because Boku85 did play, or is it 85? Boku87, I think. He played from $100 to $100,000 in a year, and most of that time he played for over that amount of games. So I think that it's like Guinness World Records. I don't know what their rules are. Like probably you'll need to first try to get a point there. But I think that the highest amount of tables I have ever heard is over 100 tables for a player that played only the smallest stakes 50-50s. And I think he's the only player in PokerStars who has played more than 1 million games. But thanks everybody for watching. And as I said, next week we are not having a Sunday session, but we might have some other dates or some earlier dates next week. I don't know yet. Might also be that we are then having like 2 sessions a week after, or a week or 2 after that. And there is going to be Kyberi in Halloween. There's going to be a Halloween Omaha. on Saturday. So get your pumpkin juices and drinks on Saturday, because it will be Omaha with Kyberi with the Halloween theme. Might be nice. So what's else there to say? I hope this helped you become more awesome in poker. If only by using some more tools with the more efficiently. And for everybody that's still playing, good luck on the tables. May this be a winning session for you. And if you are going to sleep, have a good night. Bye.